In 2019, Northwestern's head coach Pat Fitzgerald has been at war with millennials.
I think technology has been the decline in attendance, number one.
Every time coach is quoted, it's the same refrain. Kids are on their phones too much. Social media is making us worse as a society.
I think it's the root cause.
He drew correlations between our phones and the lack of interest in his program, our phones and our corroding personal relationships, our phones and undue criticisms of his players. Well, I went to Northwestern's Evanston campus as the voice of millennials, hoping to bridge the gap in Coach's messaging. Okay, we are here with Coach Pat Fitz. You know what?
Get the gum.
I'm going to save this one for later. Coach. We're conserving
safety.
Today. That's right.
It's a safety.
We're here with Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald, who has been in the news for a multitude of reasons, some of them for his coaching, some of them for his comments, and we're about to get to the bottom of what's going on. But first of all, how you feeling today, Coach?
Unbelievable. How about you? You're looking really good.
Yep.
I mean, did you work hard on that outfit?
I mean, this is just how I normally dress. Coach Fitz and I got to litigating the dilemma he was facing. If he had such a problem with millennials, why not just stock his roster with college-eligible 40-year-olds? I needed to find out more about what Coach was thinking. Could you give me the general gist of what the point you were making with that quote was?
You know, watching young people today live like this instead of like that. Well, you know, when I think about college football, it's a pretty challenging deal for our guys. Sometimes it doesn't go really well, right? And then all of a sudden they go on Twitter after a game and they're getting blown up by, you know, whoever at whatever who never played the game.
Coach was sounding like such a boomer. I was surprised he didn't coach at Oklahoma.
If you go there, you know, on that T word.
Big T, Twitter?
Yeah, but if you replace it with an S, you kind of get really what it is. I mean, you get a great opportunity to truly understand where really negativity comes from.
I think what hurt the blowback about that situation is a lot of people read about that comment on Twitter. How do we get this message to people outside of the Twitter world?
You know, I like to subscribe to the not being on those platforms in the season.
No cell phones, no iPhones, no Androids, no Microsoft tablets, no iPads, no MP3s. Think about giving up that iPhone, guys. No Microsoft tablets, no iPads, no MP3s, no iPhones. People are giving up phones everywhere. People are signing a pledge that during football games they're not going to text and be on their phones. Will you sign, please? And no MP3s.
No MP3s.
So that's more of a commentary on music piracy. People are pirating too much music still, and it's a problem that's gone on since there were actual pirates. For a couple seconds every decade, history can change. You could be the catalyst for that change. Little science word. At its core, the message is right. Maybe we're on our phones too much. About to go text someone about it. Meanwhile, I was making progress with Coach. I meant to get this on camera. How are people going to know I did this interview unless I get a nice video of this, man?
There you go. Right?
This is just like the concerts I go to, man. I can't go without filming.
You sit there like this, you're just sitting there like that, and you're like doing the head bob.
This is perfect.
And then you post it, and then you go, how was the concert? It was good.
I love it.
I don't really remember.
So obviously these kids aren't just going to be able to get rid of their phones. Like that's maybe not a realistic thing, but maybe there's different ways to like temper the expectations, or maybe some suggestions I wrote down. Is it cool if I read you a couple suggestions of how we could incorporate phones? Just some ideas that I have written down. This is ways to ruin barbecue, historical figures I don't know about, the next people to cancel. Oh, sorry.
I do have a job, man.
Ideas to bridge the gap between Coach Fitz and millennials. Every 30 minutes, a text message break. What if we gamified the game of football? What if we made it a game for the people in the crowds? They have to yell into their phone, a turnover phone. So when there's a turnover, instead of a chain, someone gets a phone that they could text on. Send 1 or 2 text messages, you've earned that with your turnover.
If you're the person that turns it over, you can then go on social media and
Right.
just get crapped on.
Right, you
and
have to
just
read
keep
it.
going down. Yeah, that's your punishment.
You have to read every single comment
Let's
that
keep
people
going.
say
This
about
might
you.
change the world right here.
Over on campus, my petition was gaining more support.
What the fuck?
So we're going to send out a text message burst during the games, 4 hours beforehand, 2 hours beforehand, 1 hour beforehand, and at the first, second, third, and fourth quarter breaks, and at halftime, and with 2 minutes left in the game to remind you to stay off your phone. That makes sense, right?
What is this about?
That sounds annoying as hell.
Well, if you're not on your phone, how would it annoy you?
To be fairly honest, I thought this was a protest against the the working conditions in the factories in China.
I'm also against the working conditions in China. Any interest? Amazing. Cell phone, cell phone, cell phone. The cell phone's ruining you, man. Really?
Yeah, good luck.
It's freaking killing you, man. Give up that iPad. Just consider it. It's probably on her phone right now. Unbelievable. You guys, the perfect time for us to talk. Oh, shoot. I have this text burst that I'm sending out during football games to make sure people stay off of their phones at the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, at all the quarter breaks, 4 hours before the game, 2 hours before the game, 2 hours before the game, and 1 hour before the game, 1 hour before the game, and at every quarter break, reminding them to stay off their phones.
Oh, that's genius.
Isn't that smart?
That's genius, yeah.
Would you sign up here? So we will be inundating you with text messages.
But isn't it kind of counterintuitive?